we're back with our channel, and today's video, since I'm a bit sick and my voice is not going to hold the whole video, we're going to bake a protein bread. We've we are quite the bread eaters, right? Yes we are. And so we usually ate a lot of bread like bought in a bakery, but since it has a lot of carbohydrates, we've decided to switch to protein bread. But let's be honest, most of the protein breads that are out on the market
don't taste good.
Yeah, we don't like them. No. They basically taste like a dark bread, or they look like a dark bread, but they taste like nothing. And so we've decided to try our own bread. And our recipe, our go-to recipe that we've been stuck with since January 1st, we want to introduce you to. We've pimped it up a bit from the original recipe, so that's why we're gonna make one today, and feel free to join us in baking.
Have fun.
Go.
So basically the things you need for this bread is a scale, because your ingredients have to be specific in weight. If they don't, then it's either too soft or too hard. You need a whisk to stir the dry ingredients together. You need a spoon, because you always need a spoon for baking. And you need a pot to put everything together. And that's it. So now we start. We always start with putting the dry ingredients together, which means we start with our favorite ingredient, the sunflower seeds. Don't put all the sunflower seeds in at once, because some of them have to go on top of the bread. Next thing you need is the wheat bran. You need quite a lot of this because it's quite soft. What we do is we always bake a big loaf of bread to be able to have enough for the entire week. Next thing we need is the protein powder, which has no flavor. And of course salt. And no, I don't mean our cat, I actually mean salt. If we don't use salt, then the bread tastes a bit boring. What you need for the bread to raise is of course baking soda. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a drinking glass. So once you've got all dry ingredients together, you mix it up. So maybe just don't do it like Dennis. Try to have everything stay in the pot. Stay in the pot.
Yes, of course.
He talks. What comes next is we put the soaked crushed linseed into the dry ingredients. It's very important to let it soak so it can improve all its flavor, and it makes the bread a lot more fluffy and not as hard as you imagine. We need 2 eggs. Dennis gonna put him into the bread. Please comment below if you see any shells, then I can kill him. Now you try to easily and smoothly mix this together again. very important, is the low-fat curd. Basically, it's a lot of seeds and low-fat curd that goes together for this bread, and this makes a nice mixture and it gets a nice texture, even though you most likely are freaked out because it looks very soft and very not, the consistency doesn't really look like bread when you first mix everything together, but I promise you during the baking it's gonna be very better. So Dennis, how was this with this staying in the pot?
No, and it's not important because we put it out of this bowl and on the crown and squeeze it.
So okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but first of all I need to scroll it.
He's mixing it all together. I mean, you could use the hands right away.
Yeah, and put my hands.
First rule of baking is to take off your freaking rings. Give it to me. Thank you very much. Oh no, there was a magical hand going into the video.
Ooh.
You know they can't see your face with that angle.
Ooh.
Like I said, it really doesn't look like bread by now, but I promise you it's gonna be better. I mean, technically you could like form any kind of loaf thing that you like to, but we always go with a classical one.
Classical. Yeah, this one. And
So once we settle it on a baking tray, we must not forget to cut it a bit in the middle so the bread can spring open there and actually do look like a nice bread. We're going to put the rest of the sunflower seeds on the bread so that we have a bit of a crunch and some sunflower seeds all around the top of the bread. And now it's ready to go into the oven. So the bread is fresh out of the oven. It has baked about 40 minutes. Sometimes we let it bake 45 to make a bit darker crust. Today we just did 40. It got slightly out of form. Usually it's a bit higher. Let's see how it looks inside. And it's still pretty warm, so it's still very fluffy, very soft. And as you can see, when we're gonna come closer with the camera in a bit, so you can see how the texture looks inside, and you can see all the seeds and all the curd still there, but not overwhelmingly soft. We usually don't eat it warm, and I don't advise you to eat it warm. Let it cool completely, and then we always do cold cut chicken breast on it if we eat it with something. We usually eat it, or I usually eat it before I go to the gym, because I'm a diabetic, and a type 1 diabetic, so I have to like fix my blood sugar before I go to the gym. And so that's when I eat the protein bread, and yeah, it's really delicious. Give it a try. We always like switch up the seeds, like use something else for change, or we only bake half a bread, or we bake double a bread to make it through a week. And yeah, please let us know how you like the bread. Please let us know how you like this tutorial, so we know what to fix in the next one. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you don't miss any videos coming up. This was the only video this week. We'll try to be better. We try to come up with videos that you haven't seen before, or that are kind of new, kind of individual, and don't bore the hell out of you. So follow us on all social medias. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, and you can find them below or on your channel description. So until next time, bye!
Bye!